I'm Jeff Philbin. This is Dinner DeeAs. And if you love bacon, and who doesn't, this dinner idea is for you. We're making a Floribbean barbecue pork belly and a sweet and spicy blend together for a mango Scotch bonnet glaze. Better to show us how he produces the perfect plate of pork belly than Chef Jeffrey Schlissel. He's part of FOMO Chefs, helping independent chefs grow their business, and the big brain behind Baking Cartel, your go-to destination for all things bacon. Welcome to the Dinner DeeAs Kitchen.
Thanks for having me, man.
Really excited for this one because it's bacon, man. It's
who wouldn't be, right?
I'm already excited. And Chef Jeffrey is bringing his barbecue flavors into the Dinner DeeAs Kitchen as he shares a recipe for a Floribbean barbecue pork belly with mango Scotch bonnet glaze and a charred corn succotash. Man, that sounds adventurous right now.
Right?
And this is something that you've already started. So walk us through what you've already done so far.
Sure. So this is the pork belly. What I love about the pork belly, one is I have local farmers that I work with, and this is actually a Kuni breed. It's from Vicki Webster up in Brooksville.
Okay.
I get her pork. We actually just did a hash on there,
okay,
which is just like a hashtag on it.
So you just kind of you just scored it, is really what you just did there. You just scored. What's the purpose of scoring?
So scoring actually helps cooking it. So it's a thick piece of meat. Also, we're trying to do a marinade to it, which is that mustard. Mustard is the glue. That's all we're utilizing it for.
Okay.
And then that pork rub that we put on top, which is a simple barbecue rub you can get at the Baking Cartel.
And I like that because you also were using a whole grain mustard versus what would be like a yellow mustard, which many in the barbecue community use as that binder. You don't really see sometimes the whole grain mustard, but you like it for this one.
For me, it's a little bit of bite. And I know it's a textural thing for a lot of people, but for me, it adds so much more depth and complexity
than just maybe that vinegar bite.
Yep.
Okay, very cool.
Exactly.
So you've already kind of got some pieces going over here. What are we looking for? Because this is not going to be the final cook of everything.
No, not at all. So what we're doing is, braising is when we take a tough piece of meat normally, what would be your flank steak, your brisket, your short rib, or your pork belly in the pig, or even like the shoulder of the pig itself. And what we're doing is we're adding liquid so it's not a dry heat. And then we're giving it a sear on the flat top, which is a dry heat. We're going to add a mixture of these beautiful aromatics to it to then put this in here, sear that after it's seared, like it is right now, cover it and go right in the oven, and just forget about it for about 2.5 hours.
So the braising is really what's going to do the whole cooking process for it. So let's go ahead and get started with what we need as a liquid base then.
So we have a little bit of brown sugar. We have some garlic that has just been crushed.
Okay.
You don't even have to do anything to it. A little bit of julienne ginger to it because it gives a little bit of a spice. We have a little bit of soy. There we go. Chicken stock. Get that going. And then here's the thing. You got a little bit of cinnamon because it's warming spice.
Okay.
And then star anise. It's one of those things that a lot of people don't realize. And what I love about it is it gives a little bit of licorice. And anytime you're dealing with pork, a little bit of hint of fennel.
Yeah.
That's fennel.
That's it.
Or you get fennel pollen or even sage. Those are things that go really well with pork.
And that's where you're going to see that. You see that within like a nice sausage, and you've got pork there.
Exactly.
You've got the warmth behind it, cinnamons, which you might get from the bacon. So pork belly is really like the creme de la creme of this.
To me, it's the only animal in the world that actually is magical because it can convert its stomach into a belly, into a bacon. It's the only animal.
And I gotta ask this because, like you said, you've got some great vendors that are getting you some incredible product. For someone at home, like where are they getting pork belly from that's good?
So try to find your market, local market. If you can't, there's a Facebook page called Florida Farm Finder. There's 70,000 people involved in it, and this is how I did it. I came over from West Palm, and I said, hey, I'm moving. I want to do some farm-to-table dinners. I would like to meet some farmers. And literally 32 farmers responded to me within minutes.
That is so cool. That is so cool. What else needs to go in?
So we're going to do a little bit of orange juice in there, too, and then we're going to take a little bit of lime, because, we've got limes all over the place in Florida. We got a little bit of citrus. You're going to hit that with that. So that citrus gives a little bit of more of acidity to it and a little bit more balanced. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for balance.
We're looking for balance, and you're looking for this recipe because to get Chef Jeffrey's recipe to braise pork belly for yourself, go to dinnerdeas.com. Use the camera on your phone to scan the QR code, just the regular camera app, point at the TV, and when the camera sees it, a link will pop up right on your phone. Okay, What are we looking for with the braising liquid here?
All you're looking for is basically getting it hot so that sugar melts.
Okay.
As soon as the sugar is melted, you can pour it right in there and let it go.
Okay, let's go for it.
So we're gonna do that right now. You're gonna hear a nice little sizzle, hopefully. There we go. And within the actual cooking method for braising, you wanna come up almost about 1/4 to 3/4 of a way to the actual product.
Okay.
You don't want it submerged
Yeah.
because then that's poaching or blanching.
Sure.
So we were actually talking about that off camera, right? What's braising? Braising is one of those where this water or this liquid is going to be the way that this is actually going to be cooked. And what's really cool is, here's the thing. You have 2 hours and maybe 3 hours now that you throw this in the oven, you can do whatever you want.
I love it.
You know, that's what I love about it.
So all we got to do is just kind of put the lid on, pop
Yep.
it into the oven, upwards of 3 hours at what, 300?
300, yeah, you want to do low and slow, just like barbecue. You don't want to shrink it.
Low and slow.
Yep.
Let's go low and slow. Our pork belly is braising to perfection, and when we come back, we make a glaze to add a burst of flavor, and Chef Jeffrey shares his secrets to a sensational succotash. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're working with pork today, courtesy of a real expert, Chef Jeffrey Schlissel. He runs Bacon Cartel for all your bacon needs and is part of FOMO Chefs, helping independent chefs grow their business. He's here to share a recipe for an ingredient he calls magic. Pork belly, which he's braising Floribbean barbecue style with a mango scotch bonnet glaze and a side of charred corn succotash. Before the break, Chef Jeffrey scored, seasoned, and seared the pork belly, then put together liquid for the braise, combining chicken stock, orange juice, coconut aminos, garlic, ginger, star anise, cinnamon stick, brown sugar, lime zest, letting the sugar dissolve, then pouring it over the pork, covering it and getting into the oven to cook low and slow. And this is not a quick dinner, my friend.
No. Nope.
But it is absolutely worth every minute of the cook time, as you were saying.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, now, I see some really beautiful, beautiful peppers over there. What's going on over here, my friend?
All right, so we have, there's two different types of peppers we have in Floribbean cuisine. One is called the habanero,
Yeah.
which is mostly heat. Then there's the Scotch bonnet, which is this puppy right here.
Yeah.
And the way you can tell the difference is the Scotch bonnet has this little bonnet coming down, and as this grows, it looks like a little bit of a flying saucer. The Scotch bonnet in Jamaican cooking makes the heat, but also adds a fruitiness to it. And that's what we're looking for when we're doing this bit. So we have some mango puree, but this is no ordinary mango.
Okay.
This is mango from India. It's called Kesar. Now there's two different types of mangoes that are really phenomenal in the world, Alphonse and the Kesar. Now, Kesar in Hindi means saffron, which means floral. So that's where you're getting a lot of these floral notes. For me, Kesar is probably my favorite.
It's your favorite. So then for those that are like, all right, I've got to totally take Chef Jeffrey on this one here, easy to find then?
Indian markets.
So go into a specialty Indian market.
Yep. Taza is one of the ones I've go to. There's a Spice Indian is another one that I go to as well.
I've been
Those are
hearing really good things
phenomenal.
about Taza,
Yeah.
too.
And, oh my God, they have a South Indian market, like food court.
Yeah.
And their dosa is really off the chain. If you've never had it, it's something, it's magical.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. All right. What else did you put in here? Because
So we have honey, sorry about that. We have honey, we have a little bit of vinegar as well because we want a little bit of the acid and orange zest as well.
Okay, okay. And I saw lime juice as well. So a little bit more of the acid on that front as well.
We want to brighten it up.
Okay.
Right, because you're going on pork. Pork is a little bit fatty, so you want a little bit of that balance we talked about earlier. So all you're going to do is just blend this up, 30 seconds.
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
And that's just bringing everything. We've got
cohesive, right?
the Scotch bonnet to the side. We're not using anything with that just yet.
That went in there. I already chopped those, so that went in. I just wanted to showcase what they look like.
Got it. Okay.
So then this is actually going to go right into the heat, and we're going to drop that in, and you can already smell just from the effervescence of the actual lid going off.
And so all we're trying to do here is just reduce this down, thicken this a little bit?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Oh.
Give it a little bit of love.
Okay. To make this glaze and everything else Chef Jeffrey is sharing today, grab the recipes at our website, dinnerdeas.com. With all the ingredients, the amounts, and directions ready to print, just scan the QR code down there to find us on your phone. Okay, I can see that bubble around the sides. It's already, like, I'm already getting really excited. But I'm also excited because I see some beautiful vegetables over here. So what do we got going on over here?
So we've got some corn. As Florida, we know we grow a lot of corn in our region, but we also have something that's really awesome too. It's right behind there. It's called a strawberry onion. Now, strawberry onions, there's a little bit of a legend going on. When they grow strawberries, they have the rows and rows and rows. And in order to stop pests and critters like rabbits to go in and eating the strawberries, they plant onions on either side. The strawberry onions actually get pollinated by bees. So this is what I consider one of these Florida things that most people don't even know about. Strawberry farmers don't even know that they should be utilizing these things. And it's like taking an onion and then slicing a strawberry, and that's the flavor profile you get.
So you're getting like a little bit of sweetness behind it in a way that's just bringing so much of the garden out inside this onion that's actually doing a great thing for the actual crop itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's
so cool.
It's like giving itself to the vermin or the pests so that the strawberries can grow for us.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so what do we got to do next?
So we're going to start off with the onions first.
Okay.
And then we'll get those starting to sweat. So I got a little bit of red onion there too for color. And that's going to go ahead and start sweating. Thank you, Jeff. And then we got some just simple bell peppers. And again, that's going to be a little bit of crunch. And this is a very southern style meal that we all know about. Mostly it goes with lima beans, it goes with different color peppers. And then you can also do this. You can either char your corn, you can boil your corn, or you can do what I did. I smoke the corn.
Okay.
Now what's really important about smoking vegetables, they don't have fat. When you don't have fat, you have to add that. So all I did was drizzle a little bit of oil over the corn with a little salt, pepper, and another rub.
Okay.
And then I smoked that for about 30 minutes. And what you're getting out of that is cherry wood smoke.
Okay.
Is you're getting that beautiful smoke.
And
from
you could
that.
see the color just change too with that, you know.
It's almost like a smoke ring.
It just it almost is really bringing that in.
Yep.
Okay, ready to go in?
Ready to go in there. And that's about 2 ears of corn right now for you. And that's just going to sit there. We're going to hit this with a little bit of salt. And oh my God, the smoke is
It's the smoke on this part, but if someone doesn't have it, you said, hey, look, you could char it, you can just be able to bring a little bit more flavor behind that corn before it really hits the pan with our veg.
Here's another thing too. I mean, I don't know how many people have a torch at their house, like to do like a plumber's torch. That's another one. If a grill, you put it right on the charcoal grill and you're getting the same smoke.
You're getting it all. Oh, I love it. We're gonna take a break while this succotash gets going. When we come back, we're gonna share how to finish it all up. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. In the kitchen today is Chef Jeffrey Schlissel. He works with FOMO chefs who work with independent chefs to get their businesses running better, and equally importantly, runs his own business all about bacon. Bacon Cartel. And he's sharing his skills with all things pork today with a recipe for a Floribbean barbecue pork belly, which he's making with a mango scotch bonnet glaze and a side of charred corn succotash that smells so good right now. It smells so good. Before the break, we made the glaze for the pork belly, combining mango puree, scotch bonnet pepper, apple cider vinegar, honey, lime juice, orange zest, ginger, and salt. Blending it together, then heating it to let it reduce while we got to work on a side of the succotash, sauteing strawberry and red onion, bell pepper, and corn. And Chef Jeffrey, you smoked your corn. You were having some fun with it. It smells incredible for it. But for those at home that aren't smoking their corn, you were saying that you could cook it however you'd like at home. You go right ahead and do it because smoke isn't the only way just to enjoy this dish.
No, and I think recipes are just a guide. Gives you an idea of where you want to go with the product.
I absolutely love it. Where do we need to go next then, speaking about this?
So let's get it with a little bit of that lime juice.
Okay, lime juice next.
And then we're going to hit it with the beans. Now, lima beans normally go in this traditionally, but being from Florida and being from North Cuba, also known as Miami, Florida, I wanted to give some Floribbean cuisine to it, so I added Dominican pink beans.
Okay.
And the pink beans are almost like a butter bean, but they're not as big, but they also add color, right? Because we eat with our eyes too. But on the texture of this, it actually adds a little bit of creaminess and a little bit of meat to it. So that's why I wanted to go with that.
All right, very cool. Now let me ask you this too, because someone at home is going to be like, well, all right, I got some beans off the pantry, and oh, I got some corn off the pantry, and oh, I can just, you know.
Yep.
They can use canned items.
Not a problem.
And then just jazz it up a little bit with some fresh veg going in there.
Yeah, we're not reinventing the wheel here.
Okay,
We're just
cool.
cooking.
We just want to keep it simple, then cooking.
Exactly.
Some fun. And you too can have as much fun as you want with these recipes. because to grab the recipes for the pork belly and this side, go to dinnerdeas.com. You can scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to find us right on your phone. What's next?
We got some pork belly that we were braising.
Okay.
And now it's the magic time.
It's the magic time. Now, this cooked for 3 hours.
Yep.
You already pulled this because everything's done. All of those liquids, can you save them? Can you do something with it?
You can definitely save them, and you can actually freeze them for the next bout that you're going to do.
Okay.
I wouldn't throw them away. That's just me because
Yeah.
I hate throwing things away,
Okay.
especially if it can be used again. Just remember, when you bring it back up, get it to 165 for at least about 3 seconds.
Very cool. Now, you've already taken yours. You've already reserved all of that beautiful liquid. This is what we're left with.
Correct. This beautiful pork belly.
And you already sliced it.
Correct. And all we're going to do now is we're going to put it, get a nice little bit of sear on it, and that fat's going to come out a little bit more and render. But then what we're also going to do is we're going to hit this with a little bit of that glaze that we did. So we're just going to glaze one side, and then we're going to flip it and glaze the other side. Now, we're not looking for this to get like hard or caramelized like most of your glazes.
Yeah.
We're looking this to add that little bit of oomph to the product. There we go.
Okay, so just that really nice thin coating, just to kind of give it just a glossiness, but not really be saturated, is what you're kind of saying?
Correct. It's not a barbecue sauce.
Okay.
We're not looking for this to burn. We're looking for this to add that extra. It's a supporting actor. The star of the show is the pork.
It's the pork. So this is just going to accentuate it so it doesn't have to be lathered on. Just
Correct.
A little can go a long way.
Exactly.
Okay. And how long do we want to keep this in the pan for? What are we looking for?
Maybe 5 to 7 minutes at most if
That's
you're
it?
going to do it, yeah.
Okay.
And it's really ready to go right now because that's hot, and everybody's going to be watering and mouth watering and going.
And the nose is already going right now, and it's going to be going for you too, because when we come back, we take a taste of this magical meal ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. Chef Jeffrey Schlissel is with us today. He's with FOMO Chefs, helping independent chefs navigate building their businesses, and runs Baking Cartel, suppliers of all things. Yeah, that means bacon. And you're so into bacon that you've literally taken upon yourself to just always have it with you at all times. What do you got there that's like totally seal and deal?
Right there.
Right there. Okay, so not only do we see a beautiful pork, we also see a cow. There's got to be a connection.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with being a chef, I think it's very, it goes hand in hand. We want to use the animal as much as possible. So butchering is one of those things I really got into.
Yeah.
So you want to utilize the animal, the product, because Mother Nature gave us the product. The farmers took and tended it. We got to make sure we give.
It's all about the respect on that one too.
Very much.
Plus, those two just go really good together.
It's a bacon cheeseburger.
It's a
on my
bacon
arm.
cheeseburger right there. But you've also been sharing a recipe for a Floribbean, a barbecue pork belly, a mango scotch bonnet glaze, a charred corn succotash that is absolutely stunning. The smells are incredible. To get there, though, we added lime juice and beans right before the break to the succotash, and then got the braised pork that was drained, sliced, and seared it a second time. And that's where that nice glaze, that mango glaze, came into play with just that little bit that didn't soak it. It just kind of accentuates it, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
All right. You want to go into this?
I think we need to, right?
Let's go into a bite. Where are you going first?
I'm going to go straight in right in the center.
You're going straight into the center of it.
You gotta, because the way it's done, I mean, look at that, just breaks
Now,
apart.
do you ever get tired of pork?
No, I don't think anybody could get tired of pork because there's so many facets of utilizing it and how to utilize it.
Okay.
I think it's one of those versatile meats that you can go do with anything too, right? I mean, you're taking something that needs to cook for a long period of time, and you just get those pops of flavor.
And like the glaze, it's not like overly spicy at all. Like someone might be seeing this being like, oh, Scotch bonnet. It's like, no.
Yeah.
But like the juxtaposition with the sweetness that's coming from that mango, that just kind of like has a party.
Right, it's a balance, right? And the other thing too, that if somebody doesn't want it that spicy, is when you cut that Scotch bonnet, you can actually peel out the seeds and the pith, and that actually takes the capsaicin level down, which is that spiciness.
Oh, it's so good. This is so good. I can keep going for it. Chef Jeffrey not only writes recipes, but he's written a book, and it's a very brave book too, my friend.
Thank you.
Craveable Obsessed, Journals of a Food-Addicted Chef, sharing his struggles with food addiction in a business which, let's face it, man, the restaurant industry, it can be a tough industry.
Yeah, I think being chefs, what we are is we're service driven, right? Anytime a guest comes into our home, our restaurant, and our kitchen, we want to make sure they're taken care of. But the fact of the matter is, I think more and more of us, the chefs, we don't take care of ourselves.
No.
Like, think about that. When we're done with work, where do we go? We don't have a meal like this.
No.
We're stopping off at a fast food restaurant because we don't want to cook.
You know, from your journeys, what should someone do? How do they?
I think the
Where do they
ball
look?
is when you really get to it and you're in that place of darkness, whatever that place may be for you. I think there are so many things now, thank God. There's Ben's Friends, there's 988, which is the suicide hotline, but there's also another one out of Colorado for food service industry. And those are all free things that we can get online. All you have to do is say, I'm in the service industry, I need help, what do I need to do? One of the things I realized is that we need to talk about it. The more we need to talk and the more we talk about it, and not keep it bottled up like it is, like during Bright Beach
It doesn't need to be taboo.
No, we need to make it mainstream.
We need to make it, mental health is real, and talking about it is important. Not just to have the conversation that it's approachable, but for you at home, if you are dealing with anything, that you're struggling with any type of issue that we've been talking about, we have a link on our site to our friends over at the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, along with more about Chef Jeffrey and the recipe for everything that he's been making today. Thanks again, my friend, for doing this today. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
And for your bravery for talking it through, too.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm Jeff Philbin. See you next time with more ideas for dinner, as we call them, Dinner DeeAs.